This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This is the type of stuff that really drives me up a wall. When I see statistics like this come out, whether they're exaggerated or not, and the mainstream media pushes it, these are the things that should start waking people up to what's going on. Today, the mainstream media, NBC, Washington Poop, CNN, etc., all came out reporting that Alzheimer's disease in the U.S. has risen by 55%, which is insane. We see Alzheimer's on the rise in America. We see autism on the rise in America. Yet people walk around like zombies and they don't care unless they're the one directly affected. And still, even when that happens, they don't go, why is it on the rise? What could possibly cause autism to rise? What could possibly cause Alzheimer's to rise 55%? Instead, they just go, oh, man. Yeah, I guess it's something in the air. I don't know. I mean, oh, wait a minute. It is something in the air. It's called chemtrailing. It's called chemtrails, and the chemicals they dump in our food and the vaccinations. All of these things are causing these diseases to rise, but specifically with Alzheimer's, it is directly linked to chemtrailing. Neurosurgeons have come forward who have studied this, who talked about the dangers of chemtrailing, how it's causing dementia, how these pollutants that they're dumping on us, such as aluminum falling from the sky, is causing a rise in ALS. This is what the geoengineering does. It doesn't just dumb us down. It makes us sick. They're poisoning us. And you would think when people see a story come out, they would go, all right, so what's the root of the problem? Why would it rise randomly for 55%? Why would it go up? Right? Without just going, all right, something must have changed. Something's going on that's causing the rise of all these diseases. And nobody blinks. Nobody asks the question. They just keep going on and keep moving on. And it's an absolute, if I've never, had a family member who's had Alzheimer's, but I can't even imagine the pain that people go through, family members go through, and these individuals go through who suffer from this. Yet they don't know why it goes on and what causes the increase. Now, I've talked about chemtrails many times on this channel. Most of you are aware chemtrails, the vaccinations, the chemicals they put in our food aren't just poisoning us and making us weak and depressed. They're giving us diseases. They're killing us off. They're causing us to need to rely more and more on medication, which is what they want. It's big business, and it's also depopulation going on at the same time. Now, for those of you that are wondering who's behind chemtrails, who would think of such a thing and do such a thing? Well, as most of these disgusting things do, it always leads back to the CIA and Operation Cloverleaf, the most dangerous weapon testing program in world history. And guess who the test is on, folks? It's on us. Geoengineering is not a conspiracy. It is a fact, and it's being ignored. Independent testing over the past decade has confirmed that chemtrails around the country and around the world contain dangerous and extremely poisonous mixtures of chemicals, which include barium, aluminum-coated fiberglass, radioactive thorium, nickel, amongst other things that they're dropping on us and spraying on us. So I guess it's just a coincidence, right? The rise and all these things, because you know what the mainstream media, as they report this today and they talk about 55%, it's, making people aware. They say the findings suggest that the rise in the number of deaths from Alzheimer's could be due to the increasing size of the older population in the U.S. Greater diagnosis of the disease in its earlier stages, as well as better reporting by physicians and fewer deaths from other causes among the elderly, such as heart disease. That doesn't explain anything. That's the explanation for a 55% increase in Alzheimer's disease, in deaths from Alzheimer's disease. That's the explanation, that people are getting older, that doctors are doing a better job reporting it. So let me get this straight. Between 1999 and 2014, the death rate of people with Alzheimer's rose from 16.5 deaths per 100,000 people to 25.4 deaths per 100,000 people, according to the data published. So you're telling me since then, since 2014 to now, or even if you want to go back to 1999 till now, doctors are better diagnosing it, and that's why there's an increase, as if beforehand the doctors were just going, I don't know what you got. I'm only a doctor here. I've only, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on medical school, but I don't know what Alzheimer's is. You just, maybe because the guy doesn't remember anything. It doesn't remember who he is. Maybe he's just fell or something like that. I never heard of Never heard of Alzheimer's? Doctors are better diagnosing it? A monkey could diagnose somebody with Alzheimer's disease. It's pretty clear what the symptoms are. It says, as people continue to live longer, that means it's unbelievable, their chances of having Alzheimer's disease increases, as does the likelihood of someone needing to care for them. Caregivers and patients can benefit from programs that include education about Alzheimer's, how to take care of themselves and their loved one, and case management to lessen the burden of care. Nowhere are they addressing what could possibly be the cause of this awful disease. This disease that is just, it is so heartbreaking to think about people who suffer from this, whose family members have to go through this. Yet they come out and they release this stuff and nobody looks anywhere. No one looks up in the sky. Nobody goes, could it have something to do with the air we're breathing at all? Could it have something to do with the increase in ingredients in our food? When you look at the labels on the boxes of food, Cheerios, which is supposed to be what? Oats, has about 75,000 ingredients, none of which anyone can pronounce. All sound like something out of a chemical lab because that's exactly what they are. What would it take to wake people up to what's going on? When stuff like this comes out, this is what really everything pretty much drives me up a wall. If you listen to this channel, obviously you know that. I have a short temper, and a lot of this stuff just pisses me off because I hate seeing, children abused. I hate seeing innocent people go through things like this because of these sick, satanic scumbags that do this to us. But why can people just not go, all right, that's a little suspicious. Anything that would be increased, anything, any disease, why wouldn't people go, well, what's the root of it? What are you saying? All of a sudden, it's just happening for no reason. Randomly, people are just 55%, which is a massive amount, just randomly, right? And diabetes, I've done videos on that about the increase in diabetes, which is astronomical in this country. And nobody goes, well, why is that? They're just going, well, people are just eating more, I guess. Nobody goes, what are the chemicals? Look at the sugars. Look at the corn syrup. Look at all the crap they're dumping into the food. Because nobody looks up and notices that the sky is gray anymore, right? It used to be blue skies. Now we have gray skies. You know why nobody looks up and notices? Because they're staring at their phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, walking into walls. I mean, has anybody been out recently? Walking around, people are just looking down on their phones. They don't even know where they're going or what they're doing. I'm walking like a locomotive, running people over because they're just standing there oblivious to what's going on. So how could you expect them to look up in the sky and realize that this is coming out of the, because they go, well, why would our government do that to us? Right? And all you got to do is go, well, let's think about all the billionaire elites who constantly come out talking about depopulation, how population control is a huge problem. Bill Gates, all these guys who are billionaires. Nope, nobody cares. They don't care because they're not directly affected by it. And then when people are directly affected by stuff like this, they get the runaround from their doctor. Instead of, why did this happen? Why is this happening? It's more of, well, what can we do to help, our family member who's suffering from it? Instead of going, why the hell does my family member have this disease along with a rise by 55% in this country? Operation Cloverleaf, folks. Okay, Operation Cloverleaf, just another attempt for for biological weaponry that our governments used on us, and it's worldwide now. We know chemtrails are worldwide, so all the world governments, all the governments, because it's not a world government, right? Give me a break. All the governments are doing this to all of the civilians. Nobody is saying boo. Nobody is coming out going, all right, we want answers, right? We want answers as to why there's an increase in all these diseases. Why is autism up? No, nobody says anything. You know why? Because the mainstream media, when they report on it, they give you a runaround answer. That's all that people need to hear. This article goes on to say the rise in the number of deaths can partly be attributed to the fact that there's more knowledge about Alzheimer's disease. What does that mean? More doctors are reporting patients with the disease and more deaths are being attributed to it as symptoms become more widely understood, particularly in the... So people read that, see it on the news, and they go, oh, well, that's why. The number's up because, 10 years ago, nobody knew what it was. What? Nobody knew what it was 10 years ago? And that's all the answer people need. Oh, 55%. So you're telling me that all these doctors out there 10 years ago couldn't diagnose this. Now they can finally diagnose it, and it's jumped 55%. All you got to do, folks, look at your food, look up at the sky. They're poisoning us. They're causing these diseases. And if people had backbones and they had brains, we'd be doing something about this instead of talking about it. The problem is nobody wants to hear it. It's too much for them. Because then they start going, why would our government do it to us? It doesn't make sense. You're paranoid. You're a conspiracy theorist. Nobody's going, man, why is everyone so depressed? Why is anxiety on the rise and depression? Everybody's on something. And then when you have neurosurgeons and doctors and all these people coming out telling you directly what is in these chemtrails from independent tests that have been done, finding all of these things like aluminum, like soft metals that they're dumping on us. Can anything good come from that? Getting doused with soft metals, with aluminum? Would you want to take a bath in aluminum? Would you want to take a bath in barium? I mean, give me a break. And then we see Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, Lou Gehrig's disease, all on the rise, all related directly to exposure to environmental aluminum, as well as other chemicals and toxins that are being dumped from these planes. Give me a break. So if you're someone young and you weren't aware, you can look into geoengineering. You can look into Operation Cloverleaf again, which the CIA just, oh yeah, no big deal. People don't believe in chemtrails. All you got to do is look at Operation Cloverleaf. And they still go, no. They're not doing that. Come on, man. Come on. We got to get to the club tonight, bro. Hey, we got to watch the game. People are getting dumber by the second in this country. They don't realize why. And unfortunately, people are getting sicker by the second. As diseases like this continue to spread and nobody cares, they just go, I'll donate to Lou Gehrig's disease, and I'm gonna do the ice bucket challenge, the satanic ritual of the ice bucket challenge, and I'm gonna go, walk for breast cancer awareness. We're aware that all this stuff exists. We're well aware. Breast cancer awareness, aware, okay? We're all aware. How about we do something about it? How about we find out what the cause is? Nope. People just go, yeah, it's just, just something going on, it's just something going on. That's how dumbed down people are. They don't ask questions. They don't look for answers. They just go with whatever they're told. Oh, it's Alzheimer's on the rise. Okay, no big deal. Until they get it, or their father or their mother gets it, or their child. I pray for these people. I really do. These people who suffer from this. I wish people would just wake up and realize who's doing it to us, but they won't. But people need prayers to wake up. People need prayers. And I'm just going off on an endless rant here because I'm just so fired up when I see this stuff. It breaks my heart. It really does. Operation Cloverleaf, folks. Look into it if you're not aware. I have videos on the chemtrailing. I know most of you are well aware of it. But when stories like this come out, you just shake your head and you go, what will it take for people to say, wow, that's a really big increase? What could be going on that would cause it? Well, physicians have come out and talked about the exposure to environmental aluminum and how it is directly related to ALS and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and all these other diseases that affect the brain, and how your brain is not supposed to be, these things are not supposed to be getting inhaled, okay? Nope. Instead, people just go, oh, stop it. You're all a bunch of conspiracy theorists. And then other people get sick and suffer from it, and it's heartbreaking. I thank you for listening to today's show, everybody. God bless all of you and your families.